"Don't drink that, Mr. Willard." That's what I heard clear as day cutting through the clinking of glasses and the hum of polite conversation. I turned, champagne flute halfway to my lips, and saw her. Little girl. Couldn't have been older than 8. Wide, serious eyes locked onto mine like she knew something the rest of the room didn't. And the way she said it, like it wasn't a suggestion, it was a warning. "There's something in it," she added, stepping closer. "Your fiancé put it there. I saw everything. Now, I'm a man who's seen his fair share of crazy. Built a $30 billion tech empire from nothing but a garage and a borrowed laptop. I've made enemies. I've seen ambition dressed up in evening gowns and wolfish grins. But I never thought I'd hear something like that from a child. Especially not at my own charity gala. Especially not about Victoria. Victoria Hayes. Elegant. Charming. Blonde and brilliant, at least on paper. My partner of 2 years, fiancé of 6 months. And the very reason most people were here tonight. She worked a room like a politician, always with a smile that said she was listening, even when she wasn't. And I loved her. Or, I thought I did. The gala was held in my Chicago penthouse, transformed for the night into a glittering showroom of good intentions. Crystal chandeliers, high-profile donors, influencers taking pictures by the grand piano. All that sparkle, all that pretense. And somewhere in the middle of it all, an 8-year-old girl named Raina Clark saw what nobody else did. She was there because of a community tech program my company sponsors. Her mom, Mariah, was catering the event. I remember her too, always hustling, sharp-eyed and quiet. We barely spoke until that night. But Raina? Raina didn't blend in. Tiny as she was, she noticed things. You could see it in the way her eyes moved, how she clocked exits, expressions, drinks. Like she was piecing together a puzzle no one else realized was even missing pieces. After she spoke, I didn't drink. Didn't make a scene either. I just lowered the glass, smiled politely, and thanked her. Then slipped the drink to my head of security with a quiet instruction. "Test this." The rest of the night went on like nothing happened. Victoria laughed off Raina's warning with a soft chuckle and a dig cloaked in sugar. Kids and their imaginations. But I watched her closely. She didn't sip her own drink until much later. She avoided eye contact. And when she thought I wasn't looking, I saw her phone out, typing quickly, slipping it back into her purse. By midnight, my lab confirmed it. Rohypnol. Not enough to knock me out completely. Just enough to fog me up, blur the lines, make me say or do things I might not remember. And for someone with access to my devices, my passwords, my life, that fog was everything she needed. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I reviewed the Fujimi private security cameras, not the ones Victoria knew about. I saw her at the bar. Saw her drop something into my drink. Saw her smile as she handed it to me. And I saw Raina watching from the corner, eyes like daggers, fists clenched at her sides. The next day, I called Mariah and asked her and Raina to come in under the guise of a scholarship follow-up. What I really wanted was to know what else Raina had seen. She remembered everything. "She used your monogram glass," Raina said. "Took something white from her purse, stirred it with her finger, then wiped it on a napkin. I still have it." She handed me the napkin, folded carefully. My initials faintly smudged at one corner. I stared at it, not knowing what to say. This wasn't imagination. This was a witness. Victoria showed up unannounced halfway through that meeting. Radiant, controlled, steel-wrapped in silk. Her smile didn't reach her eyes when she saw Raina again. "Still spinning tales, little one?" she said, and the condescension made my stomach turn. Mariah tried to apologize, tried to take Raina and go, but I stopped her. "Your daughter is the only reason I didn't drink poison last night," I said. Victoria tried to laugh, said I was overworked, that maybe the girl saw something, sure, but misunderstood, said it could have been anyone. Then she said something that stuck with me. "Are we really trusting the word of a child over the woman you love?" And that's when I knew, because the woman I loved would have been scared, shaken, outraged someone tried to drug me. She would have asked if I was okay. Instead, Victoria was worried about who I believed. I began an internal investigation. Quietly, I had my cybersecurity team monitor her laptop. We found transmissions, encrypted, anonymous, and regular, all routed to servers traced back to Eon Techme's largest competitor, a company run by a man I once beat for a defense contract, and who had never let it go. Victoria was feeding them information. She was using our relationship as a Trojan horse. And I was the idiot who gave her the keys. That week, I brought Mariah in as a consultant. Her resume should have landed her a job in any tech firm years ago, but she was a black woman with a gap on her resume and a catering uniform. Most execs didn't even look past her name. I did. And within days, she found malware on our dev servers that my own security team had missed for months. Keyloggers disguised as system updates. Code that would have created backdoors into our next-gen quantum encryption system. And while Mariah uncovered technical threats, Raina uncovered the human ones. She noticed patterns in how Victoria moved, who she flattered, what time she took her phone calls. Kids see the things adults miss because they haven't been trained to ignore them. But when word got out that Mariah was working with me, the backlash came hard. Anonymous emails, board members whispering about my mental state, journalists questioning whether I'd been compromised by a catering staffer and her kid. Victoria cried on morning shows, said I was being manipulated, that I was sick and needed help. Then came the breaking point. Victoria planted drives in our server room, using Mariah's stolen credentials. Security found them. The footage was vague, just a figure in maintenance gear, but it matched Mariah's ID log. Police showed up at her workspace, hand on their weapons, ready to haul her off. And that's when Raina stepped in again. She had footage. Her tablet had been recording from behind a plant where she'd been hiding, playing detective. It showed Victoria entering the server room, not in disguise, not in fear, calm, focused, planting the drives, wiping her fingerprints, then walking out. When the officers hesitated, Victoria tried one last time. Are you really trusting a child's video? It could be edited. You can't believe her. And I said, I believe the girl who saved my life. Twice. Victoria was removed. Not arrested. Not yet. She still had allies. But I had what I needed. We launched a counteroffensive. Released the footage. Released her communications. Got whistleblowers from Eon Tech who confirmed her plan to sell our tech overseas. It was a scandal. Headlines for weeks. My stock dipped. But it didn't crash. Because we got ahead of it. And because people saw the truth with their own eyes. Mariah now runs our cybersecurity division. Raina visits the office every Friday after school. She says she wants to be a detective. Or a coder. Or both. And me? I sleep with both eyes open now. Not because I'm scared, but because I've learned something important. Sometimes, the loudest alarm doesn't come from sirens or headlines or boardroom betrayals. Sometimes, it comes from a small voice, cutting through the noise, and telling you the truth you didn't want to see. So tell me if a kid warned you your life was about to change. Would you listen? Comment below. Hit like if you believe children deserve to be heard. Share this if you've ever trusted your gut over appearances. And subscribe for more true stories that prove sometimes the smallest voice makes the biggest difference.